mist or floating cloud. Fragrance fills the air. Come along and see the blossoms. We must all remember that for the Westerner, Japan is a great mirror. Donald Ritchie. It is because the Far East holds up the mirror to our civilization, because of her very oddities, that she is so interesting. It is in this that her great attraction lies. It is for this that men have gone to Japan intending to stay weeks and have tarried years. Percival Lowell. The whole of Japan is a pure invention. There is no such country. There are no such people. Oscar Wilde. A weighted plectrum made of kashi, oak, but traditionally made of boxwood, the same wood used to make Japanese hair combs. Families with daughters used to plant them in their backyard. The tree is nearly extinct. More expensive bachi are made of ivory or tortoiseshell, which makes traveling with the shamisen internationally difficult. Yubikake, a crochet finger cover to enable quick and smooth sliding. Koma, a bridge that raises the strings, made of wood, whalebone, or ivory. Yuzabomu, a rubber lap pad to stabilize the shamisen on the right side. Dokake, ornamental cover, which contains the rubber sticky to hold the right arm on the shamisen. Prolonged playing causes discoloration in the skin of the right forearm, and a slight divot in the right thigh. Kawa, skin, usually dog or cat, likely to tear when the wood swells in the humidity or when transported to foreign climates. Ito, strings made of silk, but recently nylon. Nylon is not only more durable but economical. A silk fur string costs $4 to $7. Itomaki tuning pegs, these are made of sandalwood or ivory. The shamisen is fretless, giving the player freedom to slide along the neck and create subtle nuances of sound. However, the player must also be responsible for adjusting the tuning as she plays. Therefore, the shamisen is both problem and solution. In it lies the answer to its own riddle. The cost, a practice model, around $500, and a concert, $5,000 plus. Instead of learning, Janet, experience. Makoto tells me this in my first shamisen lesson. She takes a picture of me with the shamisen in my lap. Hi, cheese. Evidence, she says, that a gaijin, outside person like me, can play the shamisen. But I can't play it yet. She shakes her head. What should I do next? How do I do it? She looks at her hands. Janetto-san, you have to steal. It's the only way. Shamisen. Toshie is my first student. She's 66. We laugh. The usual start for a child in Japan is the 6th month of the 6th year. She's got the 6s anyway, but not much else. I teach her the first song I learned, Sakura, the Ballad of the Cherry Blossoms. Weeks go by, and she can't find the first note. She shows up at my house in a cotton kimono. She always comes early. It's my adventure, she says. She's tried the Brazilian bakery in my neighborhood. The bread is a little tough. The Chinese noodles, a little greasy. She comes in a sun hat and tells me not to feed the birds after April. A few more weeks go by. We're on the same note. She calls me when the peonies bloom in her garden. I am too busy to go. She complains that the shamisen is heavy and hard. She is an animal lover. She throws up her hands. She bought the most expensive one. I envied it when it arrived from the shamisen maker in Tokyo. She didn't know how to put it together. I showed her. Weeks, months, and then I realized she was tone deaf. Shamisen, a different style of shamisen, which they call Japan's bluegrass or flamenco, very passionate, gut-level style, originating in the hard life of northern Japan, is making a comeback. Young Japanese say, I call it Japan's techno. Another Japanese says, no, I think it has more of a spiritual thing. It's great to be able to hear this, one girl says. We don't get much exposure to this kind of really Japanese thing. The Japanese word dento, tradition, was coined in the Meiji period, after Commodore Perry's black ships opened Japan to the west. They needed a new word to define old ways. The campaign to modernize Japan was labeled civilization,